Fabulous. This is fantastic. All right, let me get into the magical presenter mode. And all right, everybody can see my screen okay? Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right, I see a couple. Thanks for being good players here. So, hey, Master Networkers. I'm Theresa Cifali. I am the Regional Advisor to Professional Development. And one of our initiatives is to provide additional member education for enrichment. And we only do this for our region. We don't do this anywhere else in the country. So this is very special. And welcome to Network with Purpose, Transform Connections and Opportunities with Effective Follow-Up. This is the third series, workshop in our yearly series called Networking, Your Critical Marketing Skill. The professional development team has, by member request, brought you this series to help you level up your networking game, because networking is marketing. It's not networking, it's not separate from marketing. It is a marketing strategy. In March, we presented Elevate Your Networking Game, 3 Essential Skills to Master. And then in May, we presented Listen, Learn, Connect, Transforming Networking Through Active Listening. And these should be on the Master Network's YouTube channel. I believe they've already been put up there. Today, we have a little bit of, we have our own goals for today's session. First, to define your own networking goals. Today, you're going to learn how to set clear and achievable objectives so that you can focus your networking efforts and maximize your time. We're going to talk about building a strategic network so that you can develop a plan with the right people, you can build strong relationships, and then you can leverage your network for professional growth. And we're going to work on somewhat of creating a personalized follow-up system. You're going to discover the elements of a good follow-up system so that you can easily stay connected with your network, nurture relationships, and convert leads in new opportunities. There's a lot to unpack today, so we're just going to get right into it. You ready? Everybody ready? Awesome. Okay, so we're going to start with defining your networking goals. Having a goal gives you something to work toward and helps you streamline your effort toward that end. And without a goal, you're just guessing and likely wasting a ton of time in the process, as well as missing out on some great opportunities. You know, we're all so busy, and if we can create a system so that we're not dropping balls, we can improve. And there are 3 clear reasons to define networking goals. That's focus and direction. So those clear goals provide a roadmap for your networking efforts. They help you prioritize your time and your energy, and they avoid wasting valuable resources on aimless activities. I like to say, spend time on the things that matter and no time on the things that don't. Also, measurable success. By setting specific measurable goals, you can track your progress, then celebrate those achievements and identify areas for improvement. And then, of course, strategic networking, which we hear all the time. Not a surprise, this is a networking organization. Goals help you align your networking activities with your overall professional objectives, ensuring that you're building relationships with the right people and exploring the most relevant opportunities. Knowing everyone versus knowing the right people, right? We want to know the right people, not all the people. And while I know that we often hear the phrase when we're, how do I say this delicately, right? We're feeling frustrated by maybe a lack of progress with our networking efforts, or we feel overwhelmed because we feel pressured to have face-to-faces with everybody, right? And the explanation is, well, you don't know who someone may know. And while that may hold true, to borrow from our fearless leader Tina Campbell, best practice requires strategery. And I absolutely love that word. So I don't know about you, I would rather spend my time intentionally than just willy-nilly. And basically it's a crapshoot. And so with this in mind, so before I actually move to the next slide, just raise your virtual hand or your regular hand. I can see a few of you can wave. Who here has specific networking goals? They're written down. You know exactly what you're looking to accomplish. I see a couple of hands, and yeah, okay. So with that, let's define for a minute what a poor goal is. So a poor goal is one that's vague. It can't be measured, or in the case of networking, which takes time, right? Building those relationships, it's really just throwing that time out the window. And while some business models thrive on like on volume rather, meaning that the more people you talk to, the more chance you have to sell something to them, right? Especially if you're doing like products, for example, as opposed to services. Most of us need to be a little bit more discerning with who we're meeting and where we're spending our time. So fewer of everyone and more of the right people and the right relationships. And we're going to touch on that a little bit more in a bit. But getting back to goals, clear goals help us accomplish better outcomes. And some of those examples, right? If your goal is to find prospects, a goal would be by the end of the quarter, I will have connected with at least 5 potential clients in whatever industry and scheduled initial meetings with 3 of them. So what are the outcomes? 5 potential clients and scheduling 3 meetings. Very clear outcomes. So if you're looking for referral partners, within the next 6 months, I will develop referral partnerships with 2 complementary businesses in my industry and exchange at least 3 referrals each. The outcomes there are building a relationship with 2 complementary businesses and exchanging 3 referrals each. And then if you're looking for collaborations or partnerships, I will collaborate on a joint project with a like-minded professional in my field by the end of the year and secure what's the specific outcome from the collaboration. Here, the specific outcome might be a certain number of leads you're looking for, or a certain amount of sales, or even an introduction to another opportunity that's similar. Does that make sense? Yeah? Awesome. All right. So your mission. So now what we're going to do is we like to do breakouts in these workshops, and Tina's going to put some rooms together of like 3 to 4 people. We'll likely break out. We're going to keep it tight, about I think 6 minutes. We're going to keep it to once we get out, and I'm going to put in the chat some information. Here's your mission. Should you choose to accept it, your mission is to basically write down your own networking goal. So when you get in your group, you're going to first designate a timer. Somebody's going to be in charge of watching the clock. Then you're going to spend 2 minutes writing down one specific goal for networking. And then you're going to kind of round robin the room. Each person will get 1 minute to share their goal and get feedback from the group. And then be ready with your goal when we get back. All right, does that make sense? Everybody's ready to go? I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to put these instructions in the chat for you. And Tina's going to send us out, and I will see you guys back in about 6 minutes or so. Have fun. That's the most important thing. And Lucille should go out. Thanks, Tina. Don't forget to unmute. Hit fantastic. All right. So I hope that was helpful for you, and it'll get you thinking about really clear, specific goals for yourself. They're important. And if you don't think they are for a follow-up system, they are, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But for now, let's talk about building a strategic network. We've all heard this before, but what does it mean? Well, in the context of networking, it refers to the process of intentionally cultivating and maintaining relationships with individuals who can contribute to your professional or personal goals. And it involves things like identifying your target audiences. You need to understand the specific types of people who can benefit your career, your personal goals, or your business. It involves building strong relationships. That's why we have Bond. You want to develop those authentic connections with individuals in your target audience, right? Those relevant people through consistent communication, mutual respect, and genuine interest. Not I'm feigning interest in you so that you'll buy from me later or that you'll do something for me later. We all know this. Nobody here in this room does anything like that. You also want to build like a strategic network so that you can leverage that network. You want to utilize relationships to gain insights, seek advice, explore opportunities, and also access resources. So we should all be helping each other within our network. We're offering help and we're receiving help. And of course, contributing value, offering value to your network by sharing knowledge, by providing assistance, or connecting others. So we also have to be willing to give those referrals that we're asking to receive. And by building a strategic network, you can create a really great support system that can help you achieve your goals and expand your opportunity. And of course, there are benefits to building a strategic audience, like there are increased opportunities. The stronger your network, the more doors open to new opportunities, like even job offers, collaborations, business ventures. And you really want to be discerning and picky about who you're building those partnerships with. There's enhanced professional development. Networking allows you to learn from others, gain new perspectives, and develop your skills. We do that within our master network meetings. We do that here in the trainings that are provided by the professional development team. And in any other networks you have, we're constantly learning from each other, and we're helping people learn from us. And then, of course, having a strong networking system, like just having that gives you much more support. A well-built network provides a support system that can help you navigate challenges, celebrate successes, and achieve your goals. And when you have a strong network, you're less likely to feel isolated and overwhelmed. And if you are an entrepreneur or a solopreneur working by yourself all day, having these connections are really valuable. So, any questions or thoughts before we move into our next breakout? I can't see everybody, so feel free to unmute yourself if you have something you'd like to add.
I'm watching out. I don't see anybody.
Thanks,
particular.
Tina. Thank you, thank you. All right, so now we are going to break out again. And we're going to break out for about this, I think the same 6 minutes, because we're doing really well on time. And your mission is to choose what with your group, take a look at these questions. There's 5 of them. And your discussion within your group should be around one of these questions, not all 5, unless for some reason you have time. But pick one question to talk and share. Make sure that everyone has an opportunity to contribute and share their thoughts. And then when we come back, we'll take a few minutes to do some shares. So we can do the same, like, 3 to 4 in a room, Tina, and we can break out for about 6 minutes. Whatever you did last time was, I think, really well because they weren't too big of groups. And
okay, you got it. Let me open those rooms.
Thank you. Have fun, everyone. And it worked this time. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Stop. Hello, welcome back, everybody. So how were your discussions? Does anyone have an insight? Share which question your group was talking about and maybe an insight. Raise your hand, give me a wave. Don't make me voluntold anyone.
Voluntold somebody.
Uh-oh.
Rick's smiling. Rick is smiling.
He's like, I know they're going to pick on me.
You don't want to hear me talk again. I was thinking maybe someone who doesn't talk a lot, maybe.
Yeah.
How about Jeff Schwartz?
So there were 5 questions, and we could ask and answer those questions. But I saw this opportunity as with 2 other people that I'm not familiar with to get to know them. And isn't that the essence of very deliberate networking, very
Correct.
deliberate? And it was such a joy, and I really enjoyed the investment of time with Chris and Lucille. And this is only the first of many, which I hope will be in the future.
Fantastic.
And do you want to mention about saving those questions?
I do. So I'll just take, since nobody's jumping out, I won't force you. It's afternoon. Everybody has that like after lunch slump. We'll let it be at that. But copy these questions. These are things to really consider, especially as you're developing clearer networking goals. And these are also really great discussion questions to have with your chapter. So, especially on a week 5 or if you have a mastermind group, these are really good things to consider. So I hope you'll snag them, throw them in a Google Doc or a Word doc or a note and revisit them. Just keep them in mind moving forward. All right. And with that, I'm going to go back to sharing. Does anybody have any questions? What questions do you have, my friends? None. Then I must be doing an excellent job.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So let's get to, I think, one of the reasons most people are excited to be here today, which is building your own follow-up system. So far today, we've covered networking goals, and we've covered building a strategic network. And hopefully today you've gained some insight into the importance of these 2 elements of networking. But you might be wondering what on earth any of this has to do with having a follow-up system. And I say only everything. Understanding your networking goals and building a strategic network are essential components of a successful follow-up system, because understanding these things allows for targeted follow-up. So when you have very clear goals, you can prioritize your follow-up with individuals who align with those goals, right? It helps you say yes to the right things and no to the things that are just a waste of your time. This ensures that your efforts are focused on the most relevant contacts as well. It allows for a personalized approach. A strategic network allows you to tailor your follow-up approach to each individual's specific interests and needs. And by understanding their goals and challenges, you can provide more valuable and relevant support for them. And there's consistent follow-up. A well-built network provides a framework for consistent follow-up. So by staying connected with your network, you can maintain relationships, you can build trust, you can increase your chances of receiving referrals or opportunities. And that's one of the reasons we're networking, right? That's why we're in business. There's strategic outreach. A strategic network can help you identify those potential collaborators, partners, or mentors who can offer valuable insights or support. I don't know about any of you, but I've built really great relationships with people. They're my go-to. They're like my board of directors. We've talked about this in the past. I have an issue. I know who I can go to for the support that I need. So strengthen those relationships so that you can explore those new opportunities as well. And of course, it allows for effective communication. Understanding your networking goals and building a strategic network helps you communicate more effectively. And knowing their interests and priorities allows you to tailor messages that are relevant and also engaging, because people are bombarded constantly. You are with emails and text messages and phone calls all day long. So what can you do to get to know your network so that you can stand out within your communication? And of course, while there are many benefits of having a good follow-up system, I will share these 3 quickly. First is improved relationship management. right? Following a system helps you stay organized and consistent in your communication, which fosters relationships with your network. You want to remember, it'll help you remember important details. It'll help you follow up at the right time. And this demonstrates your own commitment and interest. And I think that's one of the key things. How many times has something, and you likely don't even know, how many times has something fallen off because you either forgot or you couldn't remember the details? And there is no, I'll remember that later. We have enough things. My thoughts are constantly replacing other thoughts. A good follow-up system helps with increased opportunities. That having consistent follow-up leads to more referrals, more collaborations, and it helps you stay top of mind even more when you're consistently following up. And then, of course, my favorite from the productivity coach, enhanced productivity. A well-organized follow-up system can save you time and effort. And for me, that's what it's all about. Having a clear plan for follow-up helps you avoid forgetting important contacts or missing out on opportunities. Because remember, we're having lots of meetings, we're meeting new people. Not everything is an opportunity or a relationship that has to be built. We're identifying what ones we want to move forward with, and a good system will help you do that. So let's talk about what a good system looks like. An effective follow-up system should include the following elements. Clear goals, which we already talked about, and I hope that you will clearly define them, whether you have one or two goals for networking. Clearly define them, write them down, and keep them where you can see them. We talked about strategic network, which is so important. It also includes having a good contact management system to stay organized and track your contacts, including their information, relationship stage, the alignment with your goals, and a follow-up history. And please notice that the title of the slide says a good follow-up system, not a fancy follow-up system. You need a system that you're actually going to use. And simplicity, in my book, is always best, because complicated systems are often harder to use. And if they're hard to use, guess what? Yeah, you won't use them. So we'll talk about what this looks like for a minute. So there are many options for managing contacts and tracking follow-up. So you have robust CRMs like HubSpot and Salesforce, but you also have simple, less expensive options like less annoying CRM. That's always a good option to get started with a CRM. But if a fancy CRM isn't your jam or in your budget because you're a team of one, or you feel like you just don't really need that heavy functionality, you can use even note-taking apps like Apple Notes or Evernote. And then one of the easiest, no-cost ways to get started with tracking your contacts and follow-up is just with a simple spreadsheet. So let me copy this quick. I'm going to drop this here in the chat so I can hit enter in a minute. And I'm going to stop my share. Let me escape out of here, escape, and I'm going to stop share. And I'm going to share over here just options so that you can see what a good system could look like just using a simple spreadsheet. You know, if you're meeting like 100 people a month, then this might not be the best option for you. If you're using a CRM, there might be some things on these spreadsheets that will information that you may wish to collect within your CRM if you're already using one. And if you're not using any system, you can start with a very simple spreadsheet. So with that, I'm going to share from this computer, and we're just going to look at this quickly. So this is just a very simple follow-up template, collecting very basic information: name, email, phone numbers, what type of contact they are. Are they a prospect or a referral partner, a collaborator? Is there another opportunity Or is there no opportunity at all? Because if there's really no opportunity and like, this is somebody I want to go get a drink with, but there's no business opportunity to develop here, note that for yourself. The last contact date, the next follow-up date, and then any notes that you want to take about that meeting so that you can recall them later. And then usually what I would do here is take this follow-up date and maybe set a reminder for myself or put it on my Google Calendar that I need to follow up with this particular person. And then, if you need something a little bit more robust, you could use a more enhanced follow-up template. Something like this, where you're collecting still that basic information, but maybe their LinkedIn profile. You want to note here what segment, right? Are they somebody that's in your, do you share an interest or an audience, or, what industry are they in? A relationship stage, which I put in here as a drop down, initial contact, acquaintance, or relationship. You can always come in edit with the edit button. And by the way, if you are not a Google Sheets person, you can 100% take this spreadsheet, go to file, and download it as an Excel spreadsheet. That's entirely up to you. Or you can just take the columns and stick it in to a project management tool like monday.com. Here, let me drag that down there. Very simple to drag. What's the goal alignment, right? Are they same as before? Potential client, referral partner, mentor, etc. Maybe you might want to track the referral source. Who sent you this referral? Where did you meet them? Was it an event? Was it through Master Networks? Did a colleague send them to you? Of course, getting back into those dates, what follow-up actions you took, and then any outcomes. Did you make a sale? Did you form a collaboration? Maybe you did a workshop together, and then any notes here. And then you can always add and take out columns that suit you best. So what questions do you have so far?
I have one. Are you able to share that template with the group?
There you go. So this is going to both, there's the simple and the enhanced templates right there in the chat. It's going to force you to make your own copy so that you don't have to worry about typing in somebody else's copy. Once you hit copy button, it's yours. And then you can edit it and alter it however you wish. Even if it's just, I want to write down these column titles and then use them later. These are just things to consider so that you can go and create your own systems. Does that make sense? Awesome. Any other questions?
Yeah, Theresa, the enhanced
Mhm.
template, it's asking you for, or it's asking me for,
It's with all of us.
Question.
Yeah.
request sent. Got it. Thank you.
Hold on. Anyone with the link? Done. Is that work? Try it now.
So remember that if you want to, please look at them right now, click on it and see if you can open up those. Well, Teresa, you
Yeah.
have Teresa's.
I just changed the
attention, yeah.
permission on the enhanced template. It wasn't anyone with the link. That was the problem. Tech. So
But that is,
I get all the details, but that doesn't happen sometimes.
Find any place to share. Okay. All right, so I opened it up on my phone, so I don't see a copy. So does that mean,
Lucille, I'll just send them. I'll email them to you.
oh, so it's best to open it on a computer then, right?
well, you're gonna only see
Oh yeah,
so.
you'll definitely want to open these up on
Yeah.
a computer. Trying to do a long spreadsheet on your cell phone.
Oh, no, yeah, I just wanted to save them, open them up so I have them, but I don't see a copy or anything. So I guess, like I said, I'll just have to do it on a computer then.
Okay.
Your best.
All right.
I'll do that.
Are you on an Android by chance?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm wondering if I was thinking it would just show up on an Android.
You're not going to see the spreadsheet. It's going to ask you to make a copy.
Right.
There's a little button you click.
There should be a little button that says copy.
Oh, see, I saw the whole spreadsheet. I saw it all, but okay. Don't worry.
Interesting.
I don't want to take time here. We'll figure it out.
That's okay. I'll email them to you and that might help.
Thank
So, so let's just take this. This is my last slide. here is basically, you know, but goals, a strategic network, a good contact management system, those aren't the only components of a good follow-up system. There are others. So feel free to like, this is definitely going to go up onto Facebook, but you can also, if you want to, just take a screenshot of this slide if you'd like to, if you don't want to write furiously. So completing the system, right, is personalized follow-up. So you want to tailor your follow-up approach to each individual's specific needs and interests. So if you're taking notes in your notes column of your spreadsheet, then when you're ready to write to them, you'll be able to refer back to your notes and then send them a more personalized response or reply, right? And then there's consistency of communication, right? You're noting the date that you're having these conversations. That helps you stay in regular contact. It's easy to see, I haven't reached out to this person in like 4 or 5 months. I'm going to reach back out to them on this date. And you can add and take away and hide columns in a spreadsheet so that, the whole spreadsheet doesn't get super, super long. But maintaining that regular contact keeps you top of mind. And that increases your chances of receiving referrals or opportunities. So my point here is that if we're always spending our time within networking, looking to build new relationships and meeting new people, so I have more people to love, right, Rick? More people to love in my life, but we also can't forget about and shouldn't forget about all the people that we've already built relationships with. So find your balance there. So consistency is key, and keep your reach out strategic, right? If you have 100 contacts on that spreadsheet, doesn't mean every week or every month you have to follow back up with all of those people. And you should have identified people that relationships that are more like there's more potential than other relationships, right? And focus on those. This tracking will help you identify those things. And then, of course, measurement and analysis. So having a tracker, especially if you're using an enhanced system like I shared, where you're clearly seeing the outcomes and if they're aligning with the goals that you have, right? That's a way to track and analyze, measure and analyze. So it will help you. Having a tracker like this and tracking your network will help you see if you're being effective with your follow-up efforts and then making any adjustments. What are the response rates? How many meetings have you scheduled? How many referrals have you made and received? What opportunities have been generated? And you want to analyze those results to see where you can improve. And also, how you can simplify your effort. Because I think less effort, but more intentional effort produces better results. And by incorporating all of these elements into a follow-up system, you can effectively manage your relationships, achieve your networking goals, and maximize your professional opportunities. And with that, that is the last thing that I have for you today. Let me stop sharing so I can see all your beautiful faces. And I just want to let you know a couple of things. First of all, what questions do you have? Any?
I
Tina?
do, and then Chris, one of the things that, when you do a spreadsheet like that, I know that you can very easily, if you get a CRM, you're able to move everything. If you have it digitally, you could move it to something else. But I always had like first name, last name as a separate.
You can totally switch those columns out.
Yeah.
For anybody that's not familiar, if you want to, you can always go here to contact name. And actually go up to the column above it, click on the column, insert a column right, and then you can make this last name, first name.
Only because if
And
you want to search, right?
Yeah. And yes, so the point is that sometimes when we're not, I want to stop sharing because I want to see you. when we're not tracking anything, we wait until we can afford something that's fancy or sophisticated to start tracking. And if you don't have the budget, the time, or any other resources that allows for that, starting somewhere and starting simple with a spreadsheet is a great place to start, and you can get more sophisticated later. So thanks for asking, Chris.
Yeah, I guess the idea of like using it, right? What's for best practice? Are you basically using the next follow-up date and using that like as the date to sort by that? What if you're looking at intentional reach out? I'm just trying to think, how
Right.
would I implement this? Not just have it there, but how would
Right. Well, you're using a CRM with your business, so
right?
you could easily note that within your own CRM. You don't have to use the spreadsheet unless you want to add a layer of my networking, I'm going to keep in a spreadsheet. And when those have moved to like some kind of prospect or lead, then I'll move them into my main CRM. You could do that and then have your follow-up dates in there. Generally, what I would do if I was just getting started, Chris, is I would take the follow-up date that I noted, like I would go in after the meeting if I could, or at the end of the day, and I would make those reminders in my Google Calendar, either as a task or go and make a reminder on my reminder app on my phone. So that like there are a couple of people I know I need to follow up with in October that I spoke to a month or two ago. And those dates are out on the Monday or the specific date that that we talked about, and then it's on me and those things pop up and remind me I need to reach out. So that's like the hack to, if you're not using a system that's going to actually send you reminders in that way. So you're welcome. Thank you for the kind words. And I really look, these systems don't work unless you start implementing them. So put some time on your calendar. It can be a half an hour and just go and do the work and get started so that you can build better relationships and develop more opportunities. Thanks for being here today, guys. Our next training is coming up next month. So keep your eyes peeled for that in Tina's newsletter and in the Facebook group. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Question for you. Will I be able to put those links in the details of the YouTube channel for those?
100%. So I'll email them to you, Tina, and then you can actually put them in the description.
So if somebody's listening to this, they'll be able to get it from the description.
They'll be able to
Great.
go grab it. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
That is great.